in order to come back from something like that. But it's definitely possible. But also the realization that you're in a new moment, new journey with some new guys in a new collective group. So understand that it has to be different things done in order to be successful in this series. And it's going to come from a very special place, and we're going to need everyone. From myself to my teammates, to the coaching staff, to our fans, and understand how important Game 3 is. So going into it, we definitely want to limit some of our mistakes and things that we don't want to necessarily mimic that we did in Game 1 and 2. So coming back home, watching film, seeing different things we can execute and do at a very high level we need to do. And, a lot of responsibility will come on our leaders of this team, and as it should.
Then if I could just follow up, Ty said just a minute ago that he was not going to make any changes to the lineup or rotation. So the question is, what do you feel like you guys need out of JR, maybe that you haven't gotten these first two games?
We just need, our supporting group to be themselves as much as possible. Understand that they have a unique opportunity to make us that much better. And for majority of this season, it's been on myself, Bron, and Caleb's shoulders. And we've done a great job of getting everyone involved and making sure that everyone feels comfortable. But now, we need everything and everybody. And I know they know how important they are. And it's my job, to exude as much confidence as I can in them in order to get the very best. And I will do that. So.
Rachel, standing on the left.
Rachel Nichols, ESPN. Kai, you've played this team for a couple years now, but of course matchups evolve as the team evolves. Looking at the film from games 1 and 2, what have you learned about the way they're playing you right now?
Well, definitely throwing a lot of bodies at me. Definitely not allowing me to play in some comfortable positions that I'm used to. They have the ability to, definitely take away some angles that are there for a split second. But if you don't take it at that split moment, then it can very well close up. And you're just playing against one or two defenders, and they're throwing a few bodies at you. So now you just make adjustments. They've thrown their game plan out there, what they're not going to allow me to do, and now I'm got to figure out what I want to do. And that's not necessarily wait on whatever they're trying to limit me to do. So, and I know how important I have to be in order to go forward for us to have any chance at this series. So, I relish in that challenge, and I can't wait for it.
You're lucky in that you not only have teammates and coaches here, but also you have a dad, family who really actually knows the game. Have you gotten any advice from the home front?
For sure.
You want to share any of it?
I definitely have a great supporting group, and I'm eternally grateful for them.
On 4, right behind you. Brian.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. There's obviously been so much talk about the pace and the speed of the game, and just wondering, as a guy who's on the floor and probably, I assume, one of the fastest players on your team, are they that different than Boston, Toronto teams have been playing? Is it do they get down the court quicker, or is it just they do things better?
I mean, the way they're matching up with us defensively, it allows them to get out and transition a lot quicker. You just watch film. And when Clay is on me and a few of the other guys are helping off or in a specific defensive position, they're able to capitalize off our long jump shots, or myself and Bron attacking the rim, or a little scuffle underneath the rim, and then they spread out with their wings, and they do an unbelievable job of running and creating that tempo, whether it be layups or threes. So part of it, the things that we can control, is definitely our effort getting back, as well as limiting them in transition. But more or less bringing up our physicality in the half court and not allowing them to be comfortable in the spots that they have been in the last 2 games.
Chris, next seat over.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Kyrie, with Ty saying that he's not going to make too many lineup changes and rotation changes, that would lead you to believe that there was something to pull out of games 1 and 2 that he liked, that he feels like can work moving into game 3. So what positives do you take from the 2 losses?
Oh, man. Well, you definitely got to take the positives out of a few beatings that we took in Golden State. But when you watch it, it doesn't necessarily seem as bad. When you rewatch the games, because you understand that the things that you can't control, they're just kind of boneheaded plays that you're just like, oh man, we can be better. We can be better. And whether they're speeding us up or whether they're getting in our chest or challenging us, we need to hit back. And it's as simple as that. They're an incredible team. But we understand that also we have specific matchups that we can attack as well, and we need to do that. And I know T-Lou will have a great game plan for us. And, it's our job as players to go out there and do it at a very high level.
In the center?
Kyrie, Spencer Davies, Basketball Insiders. Branching off of that, it seems like in the third quarter, that's really where they've created their separation. Is that more or less because of not taking care of the ball, or is that just something that you guys can't try to avoid?
Well, the importance of the third quarter definitely has to be a main focus of ours, especially if we have any chance in the game, because the last 2-3 quarters, they've come out and jumped on us and done it in a very significant way. So, whether that it be a quick foul or a quick three-pointer, and it gives them that confidence in order to spread out this league and to lead, and we allow them to feel comfortable, then it could happen like that, and it could change in a matter of freaking 30 seconds with this team. So, this is an important test for us, and we need to be as prepared as we can be, and we will. And you just get excited thinking about it, because we know we can play better.
And then for you individually, just from the tip, do you think it's going to benefit you most by just getting the ball in your hands early, kind of how it worked for Kevin to get him going early, just putting the ball in your hands and having, you get into your offensive flow like right away?
Whether I have the ball in my hands or not, an impact needs to be made on the game, and that's where that stands.
Scott, Michael, last two.
Kyrie, Scott Sargent, WFNY, kind of piggybacking off the preparation. You guys have obviously prepared for these guys. You've played them. It's well written over the last 2 years. Has anything in the last 8 quarters surprised you?
No, nothing's really surprised me. When you're out there and they're going at a high tempo, you're definitely like, okay, that week that we just had did nothing for us. That week that did nothing for us. And as much as you want to work on, going through their plays and their splits and their actions, there's nothing that can imitate Kevin Durant popping behind a three-pointer and shooting a tough shot that you've contested, or Steph coming off a pin down and guys setting good screens. We used game 1 and 2. We got our asses kicked, and now we're here at game 3, and we have a challenge in front of us. So,
Michael, last question here.
Kyrie, Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. The finals have been a great platform for Tristan Thompson the last couple of years. What can he deliver to help change some of the momentum in a game, in Game 3, for example?
Well, of course, a lot's going to be made. He hasn't played as well as he would like to, but his greatness comes at the energy and attitude that he brings and the effort that he brings, and we need a lot of that from him and some. And he can deliver that for us, and he will. So, like I said in the beginning, I will exude as much confidence in my guys as much as I need in order to get what I need out of them. And especially for us to be successful as a team, we need him to be who he is and some. So
it's not just LeBron, it's our whole team. We all have to play better, and we will.
Chris, back left.
Ty, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. What went into the decision to go with Shump on Kevin Durant? I think it was the second quarter of Game 2. And did you get out of that defensively what you wanted to in that matchup and for the scheme that you were trying there?
Durant's a tough cover. And just like LeBron, I started on him to set the tone early, try to bring a physicality to him. And then, after that, we got to put other guys on him so LeBron can, get his rest. We asked him to score the basketball, pass the basketball. So with Shump on him, with RJ on him, just trying to give him different looks. And, it's going to be tough to guard him one-on-one anyway. So having LeBron off the ball where he's able to get some steals and, roam a little bit and play free safety, it was good for us. So we'll see how it goes.
To follow up on that, you've talked about how much you like Shump because he can guard 1s, 2s, and 3s, and you've used him a lot against opposing point guards throughout Are you comfortable in that kind of matchup with that kind of scorer in Durant?
Yes.
Scott, right here.
Coach Scott Sargent, WFNY. So much is being made about pace. One, is that being overblown? And two, how much of it is execution within your current pace that you're kind of deploying from a game plan standpoint?
Oh, we have to play fast. That's our game. And you saw early in the first half when LeBron's able to attack and get downhill with the floor open, that's when we're at our best. And if they help, kicking it out for three. So we want to play with a pace, but to play with pace, you got to get stops. So when we get stops, we want to get out and run. We want to play with pace, and we want to attack early.
Michael, right here.
Hey, Ty. Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. This time last year, Tristan was a big part of your success, or what ended up being your success in the finals. What do you need from him to turn this series around?
It's not anything Tristan isn't doing. I just think against this team, you have to score the basketball. And they're doing a good job of, helping off of him and roaming and getting back. But, Tristan hasn't played bad. It's just he hasn't got a lot of minutes. And I think to beat this team, you have to score the basketball. So we've thrown some offensive units on the floor. And we've been productive with that. So not anything that Tristan hasn't done. It's just that, to beat this team, I think you got to score the basketball.
Ty, Terry Pluto from the Plain Dealer. You mentioned before about playing with pace. That's your game. Of course, they are so good playing with pace also. So how do you, how do you keep control so that they don't get those 10, 15-point runs, that kind of thing?
We just have to take care of the basketball. I think, taking good shots when we're playing with pace and not turning the basketball over, letting them get out in transition. That's our game. We're not going to change our game because of who we're playing. And I'm confident that we can play that way, and we did it last year when a lot of people said we couldn't. But that's our game. That's who we are, and we're not going to change just because we're playing Golden State.
You mentioned, so you think basically when it's gotten away, it's when you just started kicking the ball around, turning it over is really
some timely turnovers. Some timely turnovers and taking some bad shots. I think we got to play our game and play with pace, but we can't get in a hurry. We can't take bad shots. We can't turn the basketball over. And, in that first half, when we was playing with pace, getting downhill, LeBron getting into the paint, getting layups and dunks, that's how we got to play. If it's not there, kicking it out for threes. If it's not a good shot, then run our offense. So just got to do a better job of, taking care of the basketball when we're playing fast and also taking good shots.
Joe, standing in back left.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Ty, I apologize if you've been asked this already, but there's been speculation that you would consider swapping JR with Shumpert in the starting lineup. Is that a decision that you've made yet?
Nope.
What would you weigh if indeed you're
I'm
thinking
not doing
about that? Oh, you're not? Okay, so
no.
JR will start in Game 3.
Yeah.
Any tinkering with player rotations at all that you can share or thinking about?
Not that I can share, no.
Thanks.
Marla, next question here.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. Just along those lines, but is there a fine line between making too many changes and sort of doing something drastically different at this point in the season?
I'm not making a change. I'm just,
But I was even thinking more along the lines of strategy or, game plan decisions. Do you want to stick with what got you here?
As far as what?
Well, I guess
I don't understand.
Well, I guess I'm just thinking about, maybe the rotations or, different combinations of guys or that kind of thing that maybe you haven't used very much.
No, not really.
Dave on the left side.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. You guys, I think you're 21 for 60 from three the first two games, and you shot close to 40 as a team during the regular season. Are you comfortable with the looks? What could you do better, do you think, to get that percentage up in Game 3?
Yeah, we have to make some shots, but also when they're closing out hard to us, so we got to be able to read when we have shot or we have chances to attack the basket. So, driving closeouts is, one of their weaknesses. So we got to do a better job of shooting a three, but if it's not open, driving the closeouts and then making an extra pass or finishing at the rim.
Chris, last question in the back left.
Ty, your three-point defense is something that you focused on a lot. In the first two games, the Warriors have gotten 32 wide-open threes. What hasn't worked for you guys on the defensive end to make sure that you keep them from getting those open looks?
Some has to do with transition, turning the basketball over, trying to get back in transition. A lot of it just being aware, staying alert. at all. If you relax, they make you pay. And they made some tough shots, but that's what they do. You know, they make shots behind 3 or 4 feet behind the three-point line, and they're capable of doing that. But we got to do a better job of just staying locked into these guys, being physical, staying on their bodies, and then, you know, we can do a better job with a three-point shot.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.